God created the heavens and the earth on the first day. On that day, he separated the light from the darkness. On the second day, he separated the waters under the firmament from the waters above the firmament. On the third day, he separated the land and the sea. He created grass, plants, and trees on the earth. On the fourth day, he made the sun and the moon to rule over the day and the stars to rule over the night. On the fifth day, he created the living creatures in the water and the birds. On the sixth day, he created the livestock and the wild animals. On the same day, he created man in his own image, in his own likeness. On the seventh day, he rested. It was after this that the Lord of hosts planted a garden as a home for man, whom he had created in his image and likeness. He also associated it with the garden and made our holy country Ethiopia, the first country mentioned in the Bible. The Bible describes the creation of the garden, the land where Ethiopia and our great river, the Nile, flow, as described below in Genesis chapter 2, verses 8 to 17. It reads as follows: "And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden, in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food. And in the midst of the garden also the tree of life, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And a river flowed out of Eden to water the garden. It went out. From there it was divided into 4 parts. The name of the first river is Pishon. It is the one that flows around the whole land of Ethiopia, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good, and there is onyx and precious stones. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one that flows around the whole land of Ethiopia. The name of the third river is Tigris. It flows east of Assyria. The fourth river is Euphrates, and God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden. According to the beliefs of many of our religious fathers and scholars, the rivers mentioned above that watered paradise all originate in Ethiopia. Paradise was located in or on the shores of Lake Tana, and after Adam was expelled from paradise, he lived with his children and grandchildren in the land of Ethiopia, between the 4 rivers. Another interesting thing is that when the 4 rivers that water the garden are listed in this holy book, 3 of them are named, the direction in which they flow, and the wealth they contain. For example, the first river flows through the land of Uleth, where gold is found. The gold of that land is good, and there is also onyx and precious stones. As we will read in the coming chapters, it is mentioned repeatedly in the Holy Book, in the Book of Kings 1, and in the prophet Isaiah, that our country Ethiopia used to send these minerals as gifts to Jerusalem and the surrounding countries. For example, in the Book of Kings 1, chapter 10, verse 10, it is mentioned that the Queen of Sheba of Ethiopia gave Solomon 120 talents of gold and precious stones. Also, in the prophecy of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 6, it says, "All from Sheba, Ethiopia, shall come, bringing gold and frankincense." Another thing that makes us proud here is that it is clearly mentioned that the name of the second river is Gihon, which encircles the entire land of Ethiopia. This confirms that the name of our country has been Ethiopia since Genesis. Accordingly, Ethiopia can be said to be the first country in the world. It is the Greeks who coined the name Ethiopia, and its meaning is face burned by the sun. It has been 3,300 years since Genesis was written. Some say 3,700. Therefore, we can say that the country Ethiopia is many thousands of years old. The Bible does not only mention the presence of paradise in Ethiopia in the book of Genesis. Evidence to this effect is also found in chapter 9 of the book of Kuphalem. It reads as follows: "It continues until it reaches a flowing water, Tana, called Gihon, a bay. It then approaches the water of Gihon and reaches the edge of this flowing water, Tana. It continues east until it reaches paradise and the right of the north. The lot of Shem, which he would possess as an inheritance, went out in the midst of the land to his children and to his children's children forever, from the mountain of the mighty men, from the source of the waters, to the river of Tana. The water approaches, and goes eastward until it approaches the garden and the right of the north, and to the edge of the stream of health. it will come down. Blessed be God, the creator of Shem, for God dwells in the dwelling place of Shem with help. He remembered all that he had spoken through the prophetic mouth. He knew that paradise was the dwelling place of God, the most glorious of all the glories. The lot of Ham went out to the north, and again, beyond the river, to the right of the garden, to the river Tana, to the shore of the great sea, and the river Tana went out to the right of the garden, until it came near the river Tana. And the river went on until it came near the river Tana to the right of the garden. And the third lot of Japheth went out to the left, beyond the river of Mabal, to the outlet of the rivers. The water will go east until it approaches paradise, and the right of the north, and to the edge of the stream of health, Tana. Blessed be God, the creator of Shem, for God has made the dwelling place of Shem a refuge. He remembered all that he had spoken through the prophetic mouth of Apha, and he knew that paradise was the dwelling place of God, the most glorious of all the glories. And the lot of Ham went out again to the north, beyond Gihon, which is on the right side of the garden, and the great sea, the river, Tana, went out to the sea, Tana, until it came near Gihon, and the river went on until it came near Gihon, which is on the right side of the garden. And the third lot came out to Japheth, to the left, to the outlet of the streams, beyond the river called Tana. It reaches until it approaches a flowing water called Gyun, Abai. It approaches the water of Gyun and reaches the edge of this flowing water. It approaches the water of Gyun, Abai, and it goes east until it approaches the right of the garden and the right of the same, and it descends to the edge of the flowing water of Tana. Blessed be God, the creator of Shem, for God dwells in the dwelling place of Shem with help. He remembered all that he had spoken through the prophetic mouth of Apha, and he knew that paradise was the dwelling place of God, the most glorious of all. As seen above, in the book of Kuphale, the river called Gihon and the source of the streams called Tia are repeatedly mentioned with the garden that God created for Adam to live in. Gihon is the great river Abai, which originates from a place called Damot Sekela in the Gojam region of our country and passes through Lake Tana in Tu. The source of the stream is called Tia, which is also located in the same region. It is called the source of the Abai River because it flows out of Lake Tana in Tu. Lake Tana itself is the source of the Abai River. In the area, the Abai River and Lake Tana are connected.
It is not possible to distinguish a lake. For this reason, Lake Tana is described as a flowing river. The fact that the names of Gihon, Tana, and Eden are mentioned repeatedly and in the Bible is sufficient evidence that the Garden of Eden, which was the home of Adam, was located around the Nile River and Lake Tana. Therefore, it is said that the Garden of Eden, which God the Creator planted in the Garden of Eden to be the home of man, whom he created in his image and likeness, was located around Lake Tana, where the two waters meet, or in its islands. Odin say, thank you for watching. Subscribe for next part.